What's going on, guys? Welcome back to this week's first exclusive segment from the greatest podcast on turf. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Anthony, for those of you that don't know.
And NFL season is back. NFL season is back upon us. We are back to our weekly best bets, start 'em, sit 'em, pickups, predictions, all that fun stuff. The NFL season is finally back, finally upon us. We have a more strict schedule that we are going to be following.
Yep.
So...
Yeah, last year was our first year in the game now. We kind of have a feel for the game, what the season's going to look like, the type of content we're going to put out, what day we're going to put it out, what day we're going to record it. So this week is a little different just because we don't have our weekly recap / waiver wire pickup video that we uploaded earlier in the week. I don't know what day this is coming out. It's either going to be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But we are here to bring you guys our best bets. If you guys are new, don't forget to like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Click the link in the description for some of the greatest merch on turf. It'll be our Instagram, TikTok. TikTok will also be in the description as well. So without further ado, Ryan's going to tell you guys about our sponsor today before we get into the video.
Little Italy Pizzeria. They got the best cheesesteaks, the best pizza in all of Delaware. 2 locations. One is in Middletown, Delaware. The other one is in Townsend. It is a great family business with great food, great people, great prices. Be sure to come in and check it out. Let them know that the greatest podcast on turf sent you. They will take care of you. Show proof that you're subscribed, that you listen to us, and they will hook you up with an additional discount. So,
Yeah, they will.
Start off. Best bets. My first best bet. When I do bets, I tend to stay away from divisions. I don't really like messing with, like Steelers, Bengals, or Packers, Vikings. It's kind of like a messy situation. You kind of got more on the line. Week 1, it's also hard to do best bets because we haven't seen the teams play football in months. So we don't really know what to expect. So basically, what I did was I just took good teams versus bad teams, and I think that they'll cover. I think that these numbers are too low. To start us off, I went with the Eagles -4 at the Detroit Lions. Pretty sure last year the Eagles absolutely blew them out, and I could see it being the same thing again this year. The Eagles are a playoff team, arguably. They're a 9-10 win team. The Lions, unfortunately, are not a 9 or 10 win team. The Eagles are a tier above the Lions. I think the Eagles could be a pretty good football team this year. Jalen Hurts, I think, takes a step forward. They have A.J. Brown. They have Devontae Smith. Their offensive line is up there. Miles Sanders is a little bit banged up, but I'm not too worried about him. The defense is way better than the Lions' defense. I'm not sure there's enough up-downs that Dan Campbell can do in order to get his team ready for this Week 1 matchup. I think the Lions are going to be average until, they get a quarterback. Jameson Williams is hurt. They're really relying on Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'm not sure how good Amon-Ra St. Brown really is. Was he just the best receiver on a bad team? There is a chance of that. I like the Eagles Week 1, covering 4 against the Lions. Right now it's 4. It's not 4.5 or 3.5 yet. Definitely, if it moves to 3.5, definitely back to the Eagles.
Yeah, for my first best bet, I took the opposite approach of Ryan, and I took an interdivision bet, but I have pretty good reasoning behind it. I took the Texans at +7 I put the Texans +7 at home versus the Indianapolis Colts for the simple fact that the Indianapolis Colts have not won a game in Week 1 since 2014. They also haven't won in Jacksonville since 2014, so that's something to keep in mind later when they play. But it's simple as this. It's a division game. Division games are hard to bet on, as Ryan stated. The Texans at +7. I think the Titans are going to be a little better than a lot of people think that they're going to be this year. What did I say, the Titans? Yeah. My bad. I think the Texans are going to be a little bit better than people think they're going to be this year. I think the Colts are going to be very good, but just a simple fact that they haven't won an opening day game since 2014, and after 2014, their quarterback was Andrew Luck. They had some other up-downs. They had Carson Wentz, Phillip Rivers, Andrew Luck for a lot of those games and a lot of those seasons, and they lost to a lot worse teams in that time. So, again, this is a division game. I'm slamming the Texans at +7 points. I think it's a pretty safe bet. Again, just based off the simple fact alone that the Colts haven't won an opening day game since 2014.
We are the greatest because sometimes we disagree. I am going to disagree with what he said. Granted, he could be right, and they could, once again, not win a game since 2014, and that could still be true. but the Colts won 62-3 last year in the combined games between Colts Texans, and that definitely covers the 8-point spread. So I'd probably stay away, and it's a division game, but I could see it happening. And next up, I took Denver traveling to Seattle, -6.5. It is a revenge game for Mr. Russell Wilson, and I think that there is a pretty legitimate chance that the Seattle Seahawks are the worst team in football this season. Geno Smith is the starting quarterback. That is the first red flag. The next red flag is, I don't even know if I need one. The defense ain't good. DK Metcalf is only going to do so much with Geno Smith. The Broncos are a very solid football team. Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, both healthy week 1. A very solid defense. Russell Wilson, revenge game. It's screaming kind of a blowout, if we're being honest. I think Broncos win this one easy. I don't think the crowd might be much of a factor because they love Russell Wilson so much, and they probably don't love their situation this year. I like Broncos -6.5. Russell Wilson is very used to winning games in that stadium.
Yeah.
I think it's going to happen again, and 6.5 does not scare me with Seattle.
No, absolutely not. I think that's a pretty safe bet to make, but I also think that this next best bet that I'm cashing in on every single one of my parlays this week, that is the Baltimore Ravens -7 points at the New York Jets. Yeah, it's at the Jets. I don't care. Joe Flacco starting quarterback for the New York Jets. In the last 5 matchups, the Ravens are 4-1. They lead the all-time series 9-2. I mean, the last time they played was in 2019. If I'm not mistaken, that was Lamar's MVP year. They won 42-21. Last appearance before that, they lost. Yeah, but again, 9-2 all time. The Jets are going to be terrible. The Jets have probably the hardest first 8 games in the whole entire NFL. The Ravens are a team that they have a lot to prove this year. They battled injuries this year. They got a lot of guys coming off injury. A lot of people seem to have forgotten how good the Ravens can be when they're fully healthy. And I think this is the perfect statement game for the Ravens to come out, go on the road, and just put up a good showing against the New York Jets to kind of just be like, yo, I know it's only the Jets, but we're back. We can still ball. We're all healthy again, and let's do it. Again, I like John Harbaugh as a coach, as a defensive-minded coach, and I think that the Ravens -7, I think that's easily a lock. I would not be scared to cash that at all, especially with Joe Flacco. I know it's his revenge game against the Ravens, whatever. I really don't care. I'm cashing the Ravens -7, and I really don't have to think about it.
My last best bet, this is probably my lock of the week. It is the 49ers over the Chicago Bears. The 49ers are traveling to Chicago, which isn't the greatest thing in the world, but Kyle Shanahan's teams tend to travel well. Chicago is not cold this time of year. The 49ers beat the Chicago Bears last year by 11. That definitely covers the 7-point spread. I think that the Bears could, like the Seattle Seahawks, be one of the worst teams in football this year. Justin Fields has absolutely no protection at all. We have seen that. The 49ers front 7 is very disgusting with Eric Armstead, Bosa, Fred Warner. I think that the 49ers D-line is going to get a lot of pressure on Justin Fields. Fields can only do so much. He doesn't have that great of a receiving core. I'm not even sure Darnell Mooney is really a 1 or 2 or even a 3 in terms of what he really is.
Like a hater.
Cole Kmet is going to be a fantasy stud this year, PPR terms. But the 49ers are going to come in week 1 and rock them. Jumping on that -7, it is a lot of points, I understand, but there's not a 0.5 there yet. And if it goes to 6.5, I'm definitely on it. Give me Trey Lance out to win Justin Fields in a big way.
Yeah, I also meant to throw this out there before. We are recording this Tuesday, September 6th at 6:25 p.m. So the numbers may change a slight bit. They've changed a little bit since I looked this morning. So just bear with us. I mean, for the most part, we are cashing all these bets still. If you have any questions, just comment it. We get the notifications on our phone and we'll answer you.
Oh, and before I forget, Debo's back. He practiced today, so that's another thing back in the Niners.
And another bet that I would like to lock, it is the Los Angeles Chargers at home versus the Las Vegas Raiders going over 52 points. The line when I checked this morning, the over-under was 52. Let me just double check.
I'll do it if you want to talk.
Yeah, so 52 points. 3 of the last 5 of these teams' meetings have hit the over. The other 2 meetings that they didn't hit the over just slightly
52.
missed. Okay, so yeah, 52. I'm cashing this all day. This is 2 high-powered offenses versus 2 solid defenses with some solid edge rushers with not the greatest secondaries in the world, despite a couple players. I think this has all the makings to be a classic Chargers versus Raiders shootout, coming down to the wire, coming down to last-minute field goals, coming down to overtime. matchup like we've seen from these teams for the past 2 years now. I feel like since Justin Herbert came in the league, since the Raiders have been able to score on offense. The Raiders have Devontae Adams, new weapon. The Chargers haven't really seen the Raiders with Devontae Adams yet. Both teams kind of revamped. The Raiders have a new coach. The Chargers made some big pieces of big player moves on defense. So I think this has all the makings to be a shootout. Again, this is another one I'd be confident in betting the over of 52 points hits. And I mean, I'm very confident in that. That's another one I'm putting on all my parlay cards this week.
Another one that you might want to consider, Kansas City Chiefs, Arizona Cardinals over. It's only 54. Both teams, I think, can score a lot of points. Those two quarterbacks should be able to put up numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Just throwing it out there.
Another one I like. This is more of an emotional bet, but the Carolina Panthers -2 at home versus the Browns. I think Baker's going to put on a slaughter fest on Cleveland Browns. I don't care who they got on defense. This is, again, an emotional bet. Do not take this advice unless you are in the mood to gamble. Take the Panthers -2. They're going to slaughter the Cleveland Browns.
And that concludes our best bets. Be sure to check out our start and sit-em videos and
our weekly predictions. There are video podcasts. They're available on all platforms. Click the link in our bio. Click the link in our description. Check out all our content. Be sure to cop some merch. Comment below if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, criticism, which you guys do anyway, so we don't really have to say it. Thank you guys and have a great rest of your night. Good luck on your bets on Sunday.
See ya.
Peace.